Emotional damage.
For this custom, I started off by creating my own base body, basically out of the movie Venom. I needed to reshape it and resize it to the proportions that are accurate to the character. Every single one of my customs starts out exactly like this. The process is to fully pull the figure apart and then Dremel the figure completely down to avoid paint. After I got the figure to a certain point, I needed to shave down certain areas, build up certain areas, and this required me to go in with the Dremel and just kind of reshape and redefine everything. This is basically what the figure looks like. Once you've Dremeled it down, now it's time to go in with the sanding blocks and just kind of smooth everything out. The movie Venom legs, the lower legs in particular, are really weird and really kind of skinny when they're unnecessarily skinny, I suppose. It works great for movie Venom, but for Toxin that's not going to cut it. Movie Venom mold tends to have very elongated arms. For Toxin, I just felt that was very inaccurate. Toxin is a very stocky, beefy character, the Patrick Mulligan design, so I Dremeled out the inside and then forced these in almost like plug sockets, shortened them and made them bulky. Same goes for the thighs. I just felt they weren't big enough, so I went in and reshaped them. You can see that one is actually bigger than the other here. I had to go in and obviously resize that. This mold I've created actually sits in the middle of, on the left, Omega Red, and on the right, Movie Venom, so it's like a midway point between the two. At this stage, it is a full work in progress. It's had a full resculpt, a full re-engineer, and a full body reshape, so it's essentially a new mold from scratch. Reshaping the figures like this is quite enjoyable, honestly. It allows every character to be somewhat unique in design. So you can see I've used green stuff, I've used some parts from Carnage. These are movie Venom hands with the modern articulation. Forced the ToyBiz old Toxin hands because I really enjoy those. That gives it more articulation, and I really enjoy the sculpt on that. And then the legs have been resculpted completely from scratch with black stuff and milliput. It's got like hedge lining and stuff like that, very similar to the old ToyBiz figure. One thing that was really awesome was this whole body mold didn't really require too much joint prep, simply because the lower half is black, then you've got the wrist pegs which are all black, so I didn't have to sand any of those whatsoever. It was just the upper body that required a heavy duty amount of Dremeling due to the fact that the chest was expanded, so it caused a lot of issues if wearing everywhere.
Is your airbrush clogging on you and being a general dick?
Yep.
It's not working.
That right there is emotional damage.
Well, at this point, I'm covered in grey paint. Luckily, I have a grey shirt on, so it's not too big of a deal, but honestly, this is demotivating the crap out of me. Like, just this whole area is now covered in paint, and then this is like not working. I'm gonna try again one more time. So here we are in the present, and imagine if my past self had just bought the incredible Vallejo airbrush cleaner. Would have saved us so much work. You can see the airbrush is slightly working, but still not up to par for what it's supposed to be. So unfortunately, it is still clogged. So this took me several attempts, and it honestly really demotivated me. But that's not the worst of it. So after essentially 45 minutes, whereas I could have hand painted it and it would have taken like 5 minutes, I ended up with this result. Somebody kill me, please! I love the overall finish here. I went in with a red metallic paint in it. You know, it's got the base color down pretty nice and solid. But I definitely wanted more of a vibrant red. So what I'm going to do now is kind of highlight it from above. To get a really nice vibrant red, I had to pop a downward spray of grey all over the figure. That way when the red hits it, it's going to be way more intense. So right now I am absolutely loving the vibrancy of the color that is just popping out of this custom. And then I found this. Oh my, after that beautiful paint job, paint rub, like not just a little, a lot. So back to the drawing board we went. Dremel time.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
Do you know the way? You gotta know the way. Do you know the way?
I thought I got the joint prep to an acceptable standard, and it was completely done. No, I was very wrong and had to do it 3 more times after this. Did the same process, red, and then the grey on the top, with the red overspray. So here we go again.
Your fighting style reeks of arrogance. Ego infects your techniques and makes them impure. You think you're entitled to greatness. Is that supposed to be insulting? You say I'm arrogant, I say damn right. That's pride in the Saiyan I am, the mighty prince of the ultimate warrior race. Let's go! Fight!
Keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting no matter what.
With the paint detail on this head in particular, I wanted to accentuate it by getting in there and painting the teeth and giving them edge highlights and washes and wet blending the eyes to like a cream and a red, and I thought that was really gorgeous. I love painting. Painting is definitely the best part of customizing in my opinion. because it's like you climb to the top of the mountain, you get through all the engineering, all the joint rub, and all the major issues in the construction work of the custom, and then when you finally hit the peak, that's when you get to walk downhill and paint, because painting's easy. For me, that's like the end goal. Even though I went through all those paint rub issues and all the trials and tribulations that this custom brought, because it wasn't an easy task to reshape this body and get everything to function the way that it needed to function, I'm glad that I got there in the end. So onto the articulation segment, and honestly the main point to these entire videos is to show that if you have enough passion and enough love for the hobby, for the job, and you put your all into it and you give it everything you've got, then you end up with results like these. Completely paint rub free, sanded all the joints down nice and smooth, got everything functioning and articulating correctly. That's the goal of custom action figures in my opinion. Just producing high quality custom action figures. At the end of the day, they are action figures and they need to articulate. If you can't articulate an action figure without the paint rubbing off or some sort of issue where it breaks, then what's the point? I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you could, pop me a like, maybe subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.